you have this senator, Alex Padilla. Can Christy Nome speak? Could you have waited till she finished to ask your questions? To shout your questions? You are a senator, right? You couldn't wait? So that was just you out of control because you were just losing it up. You, a United States Senator, couldn't compose yourself and let the head of Homeland Security finish her thoughts before you asked the question. Couldn't do that, huh? Couldn't do it, huh?
He's the kind of guy that would say, hey baby, let's get away, let's go someplace, huh, where I don't care.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is WD3. This is your Hill Report News Break. Well, today, I just really examined something and I thought it was very interesting. And I'll bring it to you. Stephen A. Smith seems to be setting up, Stephen A. Smith, the ESPN sportscaster, seems to be setting up for a presidential run in 2028. Some of you guys might think that is pretty funny, but I think he's the George Jefferson candidate. He's the candidate who's going to do on the black side from positioning himself from the middle as a person who just basically razzes on both sides. He's positioning himself as the George Jefferson candidate. That's right. Stephen A. Smith for president 2028. It's a shocking surprise for many of us, but I can see it setting up on his own show that he runs late night. He doesn't really speak too much on it on his First Take ESPN show, but when he gets into his late night show, he says things like, this is why you should vote for Stephen A. Smith for president. Hey, you may vote for Stephen A. Smith. That's fine if that's your thing. But what I would say is look out for the age of the running 2 years after the presidential campaign is over. Now, as soon as the votes are cast, the next set of candidates are positioning themselves. And I'll tell you, Stephen A. Smith, he wants some of that campaign finance money. He knows that he's not going to win, but he also knows the rules. He knows that if you collect a bunch of campaign money and you lose the election, as soon as you drop out, you get a chance to keep that money. Could that be his motivation? Like, share, subscribe. We'll be right back. This is WD3, the Hill Report News Break, special edition, Stephen A. Smith, the George Jefferson candidate.
So I don't want to hear that it's exacerbating the situation. Lawlessness is lawlessness. And if you have law enforcement officials, National Guardsmen, U.S. Marines, federal participation in the mix, and they believe that this is what they need to do, breaking the law doesn't cut it. That doesn't mean everybody. That doesn't even mean most people are not being peaceful protesters. But for those who are not, who are throwing bricks and stuff at the cops, no, arrest their ass. Arrest them. You've got no business doing something like that. Not to National Guardsmen, not to U.S. Marines, not to LAPD, not to any law enforcement official. You engage in violence. Protesting is one thing. Peaceful protesting is one thing. Engaging in mayhem, contributing to mayhem, instigating mayhem is another matter entirely. So I wanted to say that. Let me get to Gavin Newsom. Sir, we kind of see what's going on. You know that, right? You're challenging the border czar, Tom Homan, to arrest you. You're bringing up fourth grade children being bothered and what have you. California is a sanctuary state, which means there are laws in place for you to defy the federal government. A president's order essentially federalizing the state National Guard, which is what you're taking the Trump administration to court over. Particularly if you're undocumented, that means that you're here illegally. And if you're here illegally, the nerve for you to be causing that kind of trouble. Because I got news for you. On this particular issue, as it involves migrants, immigrants, those who are undocumented, dare we say illegal, in the United States of America, he's winning on this issue. There's a reason he won the popular vote. There's a reason he won the electoral college vote. There are people within the United States of America that want our immigration crisis addressed and want the situation resolved somehow, some way. And a person that seems eager to bring a resolution to the table is President Donald Trump. Everybody is not there committing heinous acts and what have you. But it's not a good look. There's no question about that when you're attacking ICE agents, trying to show their identities and pull off their masks, trying to expose them, lighting fires to cars on the roads in the city of Los Angeles and causing all of this kind of chaos, particularly if you're undocumented. That means that you're here illegally. And if you're here illegally, the nerve for you to be causing that kind of trouble, okay? America is with Donald Trump. America is with the GOP on this issue, okay? He's gaining traction in the midst of distracting us from all the other issues that involves him right now because of what's going on in the streets of Los Angeles. This is not a winning argument for Governor Newsom. And because it's not a winning argument for him, it's not going to be a winning argument for Mayor Karen Bass, and it's not going to be a winning argument for the Democratic Party.
Hey, welcome back, guys. It's WD3 and the Hill Report News Break. We're talking about Stephen A. Smith positioning himself for a 2028 presidential candidate run. You heard it here first. I think I first heard it when I was watching a show by Carcino, and he was pretty adamant about it, but I kept my eye open, and every time now that I see Stephen A. Smith, he is talking about positioning himself for a presidential run. Will you support the George Jefferson candidate? Could that be why the likes of LeBron James chose that moment to get in his face? Year 22 of his NBA career to get in the face, third quarter of Stephen A. Smith in a seemingly random confrontation. Could that be everything just to be eliminating Stephen A. Smith from a serious run, just like they did Herman Cain, the 999 candidate? Could this be all a smear campaign against Stephen A. Smith, having him associated with the likes of Shannon Sharp, a 54-year-old man who seems to take advantage of 19-year-old girls? The George Jefferson candidate, could they be trying to thwart his candidacy before it even starts? I would say, in my personal opinion, keep a keen eye on his show, listen to his positions. If Stephen A. Smith decides to run for president, if he's in that position, and you support him, just make sure he's in for the long run. If somebody wants to just jump in, gain a bunch of money, get wiped out and lose before the debates, well, that's one of the easiest ways to get rich. It's like the new lottery, right? Run for president. Anyway, it's WD3. Like, share, subscribe. Stephen A. Smith, the George Jefferson candidate.